This hour by Frederick Remington, fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. Exclusive, no refrigeration, 10-year extended shelf life bacon. The thickest, meatiest center-cut bacon in the industry at fullycookedbacon.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Wall Street Raw. I'm your host, Mark Leibovit, and this is a remote broadcast from the Traders Expo in Las Vegas. And we're going to have... wait a second.
I can hear you talking.
You can't hear? Okay, we're doing a live broadcast, and I have Harry Boxer next to me here. I apologize, folks, at the Traders Expo. Meanwhile, I have Don Violo on the line now, and we have a bunch of guests today, including our good friend Sinclair No and Kyle Dennis, and hopefully we get to Chris Kimble as well during this hour, again, live from Las Vegas. Don Violo is my first guest. He's a past president of the Canadian Technical Analysts Association. He's a chartered market technician. And he produces two great websites, timingthemarket.ca and equityclock.com. Don, sorry for a little confusion here. We're doing a live broadcast today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Well, let's talk about the seasonal strength in precious metals.
Yeah, the next period of seasonal strength in precious metals and precious metal stock prices is approaching. The period is from mid-December to the end of February. The technical signs of base building in the sector already have surfaced. On-balance volume data shows that the sector is under accumulation. Chances are good that the next period of seasonal strength, starting in mid-December, will be nicely profitable.
Okay, so we have some good leading names in that group, right?
Yeah, selected major stocks in the sector already starting to show positive technical signs. Earlier this week, Franco-Nevada, symbol FNV, moved to an all-time high in Canadian dollar terms. Wheaton Precious Metals, the symbol WPM, also moved above a base building pattern.
Okay, so we should be looking to get long now for seasonal strength into when, Don?
Yeah, we're getting close. I know on Friday the precious metal sector was under a little bit of pressure, but that is part of the base building process. Now's the time to put precious metal sector, both the metals and the stocks, back on the radar screen.
And real quickly, Don, Canadian dollar, where do we stand now?
Yeah, this past week has been kind of interesting. We had a really good economic report coming in late this week on the employment side. That's caused a bit of strength in the Canadian dollar. But we're currently in a period of seasonal weakness for the Canadian dollar. Any strength in the Canadian dollar is an opportunity to liquidate.
Great, Don. Thanks for squeezing us in on the Saturday morning. It's always great having your input. Don Violo from equityclock.com and timingthemarket.ca. And, let's get positioned in those precious metals, Don, for the next big move here. Hopefully it does get underway as soon as your cycles say they should. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Well, joining me live from the Traders Expo is my good friend Harry Boxer. He made Harry Boxer as the founder of the TechTrader.com, which is a live trading room featuring his trade alerts and technical market analysis. He's nearly a 50-year veteran of the stock market and the author of the great book Profitable Day in Swing Trading, which was named by Stock Traders Almanac the 2015 Best Investment Book of the Year. Harry, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure being here, of course.
Okay, so Harry's doing a workshop later today here at the Traders Expo. I'm doing one too. What's the subject of your workshop?
Well, the usual subject for my workshops are talking about being able to trade using pattern recognition techniques. I'm a believer that over the 50-some-odd years that I've been trading, I've noticed that patterns repeat in all time frames, including 1-minute patterns. So I've used those 1-minute intraday patterns to do our day trades, and we use 5 and 15-minute patterns for our swing trades. Okay.
And from our breakfast this morning, you said you're going to be in New York in February for a 4-hour presentation.
Right, a 4-hour training seminar that you'll find very elucidating in terms of my techniques on how to trade both short-term, daily, etc.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the hot stocks and what's going on this week and what you see coming.
Well, this is a very interesting market, and I also feel like it's showing signs of topping only because of the lack of follow-through. I'm seeing a lot of stocks in the morning, like we're day traders, so we look for patterns that gap up, pull back, consolidate, and then trend all day. What we're finding is they're trending, but they're trending for an hour or two, and then they're starting to roll over as profit-taking sets in earlier than normal, and that kind of smacks of distribution. I think people are taking, like this morning with Apple exploded pre-market over 175, and then next thing I know is trading under 170, and I think it came back to 172.3, but the point being is that any good news is being taken, they're taking profits on good news after the gap up, but they're also punishing, and I mean punishing badly, stocks that miss. We saw this week Tesla dropping down in under 300, and several other stocks that gapped down dramatically, 10, 15 points, and so it's you have to be in the right sectors, and I'm still monitoring closely 3 sectors that I feel are going to lead this market up and down. That is semiconductors. I follow the SMH ETF closely to get an indication of the trend there. The FAS for financials, they seem to be still strong enough, but we're seeing more volatility up here at these levels on financials where they'll swing up, they'll swing down, they'll swing back up, and usually those kind of volatility it comes at peaks, and this is an area and a time in the market where we need to be extremely careful after a 9-year bull market.
Don Violo, as you heard, was just on the show, and he thinks that we've entered a seasonal positive period for the precious metals. How are you reading that?
Actually, there are several stocks that I follow closely. One of the leaders in that industry is Royal Gold, RGLD. That's already moved from the 40s, it's actually at one point down to 25. It's back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And if you look at that trend, you'll say that stock never had a real bear market. It's one of the leaders coming out of what looks like a bear market, potential bottom. And wheat and precious metals with WPM and a silver group I like. There are a lot of lower price speculative stocks in gold that I think could be triples, quadruples, and more over the next 2 or 3 years. And as you know, one of my close associates, Avi Gilbert, who's an excellent Elliott Wave guy, and who called the top in gold within $1 at 1925.
My goodness.
It hit 1924. And so he's saying that this is going to be a generational low and a major move, that he thinks gold in the next 5 years could be as high as 3,000.
Okay. And some of our silver players are going to be anxious to see what silver does. We talked about that earlier.
And what's interesting is I follow closely the USLV, which is a silver ETF, a triple ETF for silver, and it looks like it's forming an inverse head and shoulders bottoming pattern, a nice base, and this could be it's funny, the gut feel I have is that silver may lead gold on the way up.
It has been acting a little stronger than gold recently. Mm-hmm. We have about 60 seconds. A couple hot stocks on your list?
Well, I still like certain stocks like Juno. In the biotech sector, I think there's a big play there. We recently put a swing on it in the 40s, and it's trading over 60 today. And but anything that has a positive pattern that's in the fields that I like to trade, semiconductors, biotech, and tech stocks in general. If the pattern's there and the trend is your friend. And as far as I'm concerned, we need to continue to play stocks that I think have good basic underlying technicals and strong trends. And until they, Joe Granville once said the market climbs a wall of worry, and the market seems to be doing that. Everyone's talking about top, and the market, and today the Dow hit an all-time high.
It's been climbing a wall of worry since the bottom in 2009.
There you go.
Right, for all these years. Just a few more seconds left. We have a big marijuana show coming up here in Vegas in a couple of weeks. Couple marijuana stocks on your radar screen?
Well, I'm
Okay, Terry, we just ran out of time. Harry Boxer will be with us next week, and he's on the techtrader.com. Don't touch your dial. We'll be back after the break with Kyle Dennis.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
Chad here, owner of Infidel Body Armor. With the shooting in Vegas, there will be calls to ban guns and body armor. You can expect prices to rise dramatically in the coming weeks as gun grabbers try to outlaw your freedom. If you don't have your armor kit yet, you are behind the curve. Don't miss your window of opportunity. Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com and click on Specials. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the Internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
This just in. Before your doctor gives you another antibiotic prescription that you don't want, get this free report, The Miracle of Garlic, your first home medicine. This free report is filled with easy kitchen remedies for common colds, flus, sore throats, ear infections, and more. Plus, learn to boost your immunity before you get sick. Go now to GCNwellness.com. Just like it sounds, GCNwellness.com to get your free report, The Miracle of Garlic. Click GCNwellness.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Sick of hair loss? Thinning hair? Bald spots? Ever thought about hair restoration? It's a life-changing decision. Thankfully, the first step is incredibly easy and absolutely free because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable their permanent solution to hair loss really is. Get yours by texting EASY44 to 85850. You'll see for free just how great your hair could look. Plus, we'll also give you a free gift card when you text EASY44 to 85850. Join the men and women all over the country who have come to Bosley, the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, for their permanent solution to hair loss. If you've ever thought about getting your hair back, don't miss this incredible offer. We're giving away an invaluable information kit absolutely free, plus a gift card for $250 off to everyone who texts EASY44 to 85850. That's EASY44 to 85850.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour, on this Saturday, November 4th, we're live at the Traders Expo in Las Vegas at Bally's Resort. And as always, it's an exciting event with all the great guest speakers in the exhibit hall. And we just had Harry Boxer on the line just a few moments ago. He's doing a presentation later today. I'll be doing one later today here. So if you still want to make it out to Vegas, runs through today, Saturday, so we should be in good shape. My first guest and the regular guest, we always have Kyle on the show as often as we can get him on the show, is again with us. Kyle Dennis is the Chief Biotech Strategist at RagingBull.com. He's an independent equities trader focused on uncovering undervalued stocks in the market. He's done a terrific job in doing so for his clients. I believe, Kyle, in some of your literature, you've talked about turning a few $1,000s into a few $1 million. So that's something we need to tell our listeners about.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. That's my claim to fame. I trade a lot of biotech stocks. They're very volatile, but also can be very profitable if you trade what I like to use, which are called catalyst events. One that I'm looking at here is called Immune Design. That one, the symbol there is IMDZ. It trades on the NASDAQ. Right now it's about $4 a share, but not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, it was at 11. Now, what happened is they did a capital raise, and so now they're very well funded, and that capital raise was done at about around $4 a share. And the reason why I'm interested is it's way down, and the company has a catalyst event upcoming. There's a conference in December called the ASH Conference, and this company will be releasing some cancer data, some phase 2 cancer data for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it has a big-time catalyst. And then what really got me interested, too, is that a bunch of insiders participated in the offering. I'm counting 5 insiders bought a bunch of shares, and the 2 biggest ones were a director and 10% owner. In combination, they bought 5.2 million shares. So big-time buys of these cancer catalysts, and that's what got me real interested in Immune Design. And on top of it, too, the IBB, like we've been talking with your listeners about, the biotech index has pulled back from about 340 highs in early October to about 310 or so. So it's pulled back quite a bit, and it looks to me like it's getting ready to bounce, and this would be an area where I'm looking to get potentially long more biotech after being a little bit more conservative over the past month.
I know you were looking for that shakeout in the IBB. You were a little early, but we did get that shakeout, so it did present an opportunity. We were talking off air about one of your big winners, Gilead, which ran from the 60s all the way into the 80s, and you're still holding to your prediction that it could be a $100 stock?
Yeah, on this one, I really have taken like a longer-term view. I still think it can be a $100 stock. They did make some acquisitions. One was Kite Pharma, symbol KITE, which is what the market wanted to see. They wanted to see them pick up some new companies to develop their pipeline, and that's what the company's doing. That's what management's doing. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time, and as the IBB improves and Gilead executes, I think that it's going to hit $100 a share, hopefully within the next 6 months.
Kyle, thank you again for joining us. Kyle Dennis from RagingBull.com, and hope to have Kyle again with us here next week, and have a great weekend, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you again.
Well, thank you, Kyle. And we have our good friend Henry Weingarten on the line, being very patient with us as we're doing this live broadcast from the Traders Expo in Las Vegas. Henry, how are you doing?
We're doing great. Thank you very much.
That's good. Thank you for hanging on the line there. We're doing a little different format this week and sitting out here in Vegas at the Traders Expo. I'm standing on a stage here with a remote internet line trying to make it all work, not doing it from the studio.
Although, gambling in Las Vegas is really quite tame compared because of the markets. So
or trading Bitcoin, right?
Or trading Bitcoin, yes. Which with the CME coming out with a new potentially with the new futures, there can be some really big movements in Bitcoin. Nothing like you've seen it presently. Anyway, we look at that as, of course.
Well, it gave it a lot of legitimacy now if you got a futures contract out there.
Not necessarily. No, because you have the same legitimacy that you had with the subprime mortgages. I don't agree with that. No, this is a Ponzi scheme. I'm of that view, and tulips. In any case, it will go on further because basically these types of things always go on further than rational people expect. And talking about the markets now, they're of course clearly above numbers that people who have a fundamental view are comfortable with. That doesn't mean they can't go to $25,000, etc. The real question is when there'll be correction. Now, we don't expect a big correction, of course, through 2019 or 2021. But at these numbers, I think a lot of people are going to take their profits either just towards the end of the year or beforehand. The astrology positive effect, the short-term one, is going to be over fairly soon. Then the question is there a reason for people to sell? And I think there will be a reason for people to lock in things. And by near the end of December, we're going to have maximum cash allocation, whatever that is, and we'll be 1-to-1, that is to say fully hedged, either at the middle or end of December. How we get there, not sure yet, but that's the direction we're going to be in, where it's totally locked in and fully hedged.
The gold market looks like it's still bottoming, doesn't it?
The whole market. I mean, there are things we'll like, but we're taking, generally speaking, we'll have either writing enough calls or be short the S&P or whatever. When the Nasdaq, however, if the Nasdaq gets to 6,900 to 7,000, we'll do a trial short there at that point. But we're getting close. At that point, it's ridiculous. We could go to 8,000, but we think 7,000 was our T3 target. We don't think it's going to go much above that, maybe 7,200, but that's about it.
And as you predicted, crude oil's been inching up, too. Very nicely.
Crude oil will positive on, and crude oil will be good next year. I mean, obviously there's sector rotation, and energy is one of the areas you can do that in. And clearly, we will see $65 oil. So I'm not saying to sell everything. Obviously, that would be an incorrect thing. Gold, obviously, is under stress as well because of the dollar being stronger. But it's undervalued, and under 1,300, we think it's ridiculous. Bonds are also ridiculous, although in the 230s are okay, but they should certainly be above 250 on the 10-year.
Okay. And we're about 30 seconds here. Tell our listeners a little bit about how you approach the market so they learn a little bit more about the astrologer's fund.
Top down. We decide where in the world we want to invest, what countries, what currencies, what sectors, down to individual stocks. We look at what we consider the major events, and we play them mostly. So, for example, we're starting to look at 2018. We like things like energy. We like things like copper.
Henry, we just ran out of time. Thank you for joining us. Henry Weingarten from the Astrologers Fund. Talk to you next week.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the Internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-774-3149 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-774-3149. Again, that's 800-774-3149.
If you're an unincorporated business owner, it's too late for you. That is, if you've already been sued and lost your home, your car, and your personal life savings. But if you haven't been sued yet, there is still time to incorporate and protect your personal assets. And the first step is just a phone call away, because Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation toolkit to all business owners, including exclusive information on how to start and grow your business. For your free incorporation toolkit, call now 1-800-936-9256. Incorporation is the shield that protects your personal assets. Without it, you could lose everything. That's why at Incorporate.com, they just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. They don't provide legal or financial advice. If someone sues tomorrow, will you lose everything? Don't wait until it's too late. Call now for your free incorporation toolkit. Hurry, they're still giving them away for free at 1-800-936-9256. Call 1-800-936-9256. That's 1-800-936-9256.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com.
Well, welcome back to Wall Street Raw. This is your host, Mark Leibovit, and thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. As I mentioned earlier, we're broadcasting live from the Traders Expo in Las Vegas. Traders Expo does two of these events a year, one in Vegas in November, one in New York City in February, and it's always fun doing it. Get to meet a lot of interesting traders. For me, it's a short drive from Phoenix up to Vegas, so it's easy for me to come up here. The New York trip, well, I don't know how often that's going to happen, but I do try to make that occasionally. We've had some pretty good guests on the show today, and many are being very patient with us since we are working on a remote basis here at Las Vegas. And one of my good friends, Chris Kimble, was kind enough to make himself available on the Saturday morning for our show. And Chris is the creator, author, editor of the KimbleChartingSolutions.com, and he's made terrific calls over the year. We got a bunch of markets to talk about. Good morning, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, Mark. How are you, buddy?
No, I'm doing great. Plugging along here and watching the markets go straight up. So, as a technician, I'm as a trader, I should say, making money in a straight up market is not my forte. Though we are catching some individual swings. Let's talk about what you're looking at. You got so many markets that are generating so many disparate signals here. So, what's your pleasure?
Well, Mark, thanks for always having me on the show. It's a real pleasure. And earlier today, I know your viewers or listeners don't have these charts, but I sent you a six-pack, Mark, that was just really, I think, a six-pack being six different charts in the same sector, being the gold or precious metal sector. And something that I haven't seen, is my 37th year in the business, that I haven't seen in a while, is you can go to our blog, and Mark, we can talk about that later, but it's interesting that gold, GDX, GDXJ being the junior miners, the GDXJ junior miners, senior miners ratio, which is GDXJ, GDX, the gold dollar ratio, and the steel SLX ETF are all on multi-year support lines at the exact same time, Mark. And this is just something that I think is really, really critical for the metals markets, that it hangs on here.
So a right of support is what you're saying.
Yes, I've rarely seen, Mark, so many of these all lining up at once. And, another chart that I sent you is that the U.S. dollar could potentially be at the bottom of a bull flag, which a pattern which, to me, Mark, makes these support lines be all the more important for the metals complex.
Right. So can you see the dollar rallying and gold rallying, or are you always going to assume there's going to be that inverse relationship?
Well, I think more often, Mark, it's going to be the latter, the inverse, relationship. So for the metals traders, we've been on the show honorably a couple of times, and we've had a lot of fun trading Freeport McMoran, and FCX has hit some resistance levels, and so we've backed off and taken our profits on that. We're not bearish on it. We'd actually go back to it, Mark, if it could, take out some key resistance levels again.
Okay. So we have to be remain both. Well, you have a target on the dollar by any chance? Upside target on the dollar index?
Well, just the bull flag itself, Mark, is going back to probably 6% higher, which would be the top of the bull flag pattern, and it's on our blog if people want to get a chance, to look at that. So it's to me, and See It Markets published it today as well. So to me, it's a very key pattern for both the dollar and the metals, and the traders' positions, Mark. On the dollar's historically closer to a low than a high with the way the traders are positioned right now, and then it's the flip side for gold and silver. So I think for the people that love the metals complex, this is really a key test that we haven't seen in the last few years.
In one of your recent reports, you talked about a breakout brewing in the steel sector. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, the SLX is potentially has a series of flat tops, Mark. One of our favorite patterns in a bull market is the ascending triangle pattern, which, we've had nothing to do with creating whatsoever. But 2/3 of the time, it breaks out to the upside. It also gives the trader an opportunity to catch a measured move, to kind of get an idea of how far it could go. So SLX has created a series of flat tops this year and rising bottoms over the last 2 years. So steel is also at a really important support point and up against resistance at the same time. So we'd be a buyer of SLX if it can, roughly break above the 43, 44 level.
Crude oil's been on a tear here, Chris, as you know. We had Henry Weingarten earlier in the show talking about a mid-60s target possibly next year. Are you looking at the same thing?
Yeah, we are, Mark. It's testing 2017 highs right now. It broke above a several-year resistance line of late in the move. So if we could get above, current levels of 2017 highs, we could probably, rally a good 5-6% pretty quickly.
Chris, we have a couple minutes here. Let's talk a little bit about KIMBLE Charting Solutions and how our listeners get in touch with you and your blog and so forth. Give us a little background in the next minute or so.
Well, just real real quickly, Mark, I was a financial planner for 25 years. Was fortunate that one of your friends or acquaintances, Sir John Templeton, was a mentor of mine. And back in the late 90s, he took me aside. He says, Chris, I'll give you a few reasons that I think that the stock market will be flat at best for the next 18 years. And probably, Mark, that scared the heck out of me because I've been just puking buy and hold, for years. But I was really glad that he went and shared that because it forced me to shift more from the buy and hold over to what we want to call the power of the pattern opportunities. And before we get off the phone, I want to bring up just a boring area that is testing a breakout level, which is utilities. Everybody, I want you to go take a check at XLU. And a couple of weeks ago, one that's really doing well, surprisingly, is we're long the position, so we have a bias, but Hawaiian Electric, and its symbol is HE. So I'm not sure, Mark, what the big picture is suggesting, but the utility sector, and especially HE, is breaking above a multi-year ascending triangle, at this time. So if people get a chance, I'd check out, that sector as well.
Chris, I really appreciate you taking so much time with us. For our listeners, again, how do they get in touch with you? The best way to sign up?
Well, we can be found at KIMBLE, and KIMBLE's spelled KIMBLE, KIMBLEChartingSolutions.com. We have a variety of packages from metals to sectors to global perspectives. And so if anybody just wants to give us a look, we do offer free trials, so we'd be honored just to have people check out what we do.
Thank you, Chris. Chris Kimble from Kimble Charting Solutions. Hope to have him back real soon. He's got some great charts and some good cartoons in those charts, too, which I really enjoy seeing it every week. It sort of livens up the whole stock market experience. Chris, have you back real soon. Thank you for joining us.
Take care, good friend. Thanks for everything, Mark. All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. So don't touch your dial, folks. We've got our good friend Sinclair No going to be joining us in the next couple minutes from eatthebankers.com. And again, we're broadcasting live here from the Traders Expo here in Las Vegas at the Paris Bally's Complex. So if you have any time or effort to stop by, please do. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned.
Listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
Back pain doesn't take vacations. It never celebrates holidays. It's on the job 24/7 to keep your life exactly where it is, in limbo. But it doesn't have to be that way, because Laser Spine Institute can help you take back your life from chronic neck and back pain. With a less than 1-inch incision, our minimally invasive procedures have provided relief to over 60,000 patients with a 97% patient satisfaction rate. So get ready to stand tall and live the life you've imagined for yourself without pain. Are you or a loved one suffering from a bulging disc, herniated disc, spinal stenosis, pinched nerve, or degenerative disc disease? Call our spine care consultants now at 855-510-BACK for a no-cost MRI review and to learn more. It's time to say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain.
Call 855-510-BACK to see if laser spine surgery is right for you. That's 855-510-BACK.
What have you got to lose? Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-765-9681 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-765-9681. Again, that's 800-765-9681.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. I'm your host, Mark Leibovit. We're broadcasting live from the Traders Expo in Las Vegas. We had a bunch of series of good guests here this morning at the Traders Expo. Harry Boxer, in particular, who's doing a workshop here today, and I'm doing one later today. And if you're still in the Vegas area on Saturday, the show is still going on at the Bally's Paris Resort. Meanwhile, we have our very good friend Sinclair No online. We've got a lot to cover this week. Sinclair No is from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the great incomparable blog, eatthebankers.com. Good morning, Sinclair. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mark.
Boy, do we have a news-filled week. I guess that's the best way to talk about it. Where do you want to start? The Federal Reserve meeting midweek or the tax plan?
Let's start with the tax plan.
There's a lot to cover there. Go ahead.
We finally got a tax plan. I mean, 429 pages instead of 9 pages. So we actually have something we can start looking at, some very specific proposals. Let me run through a couple of just key points. Top tax rate stays at 39.6%, but it applies to fewer people. It applies to income up to $1 million for a married couple. Higher income taxpayers would get the benefits of the new lower tax rates on lower tiers for income. The lowest rate, 12%, replaces the 10%. There's a $300 per taxpayer personal tax credit. That will expire after about 5 years. The estate tax doubles, but it's also set to expire after a period of time. A lot of mixed signals here. The 401ks and IRAs, the retirement savings plans, no change there. However, you're going to see changes for state and local tax deductions. You're going to see changes for mortgage interest rate deductions. You're going to see changes in property taxes capped at $10,000. the big thing, I think, is that we're going to see lower corporate tax rates. It's going to drop down from the 35% rate to 20%, and a new rate would be 25% on income not attributed to labor, run through a pass-through kind of a corporate entity like an LLC or a partnership. It's a real interesting thing. About $1 trillion worth of this is going to be going to businesses and corporations. About $500 billion would be to individuals. But I'm not sure the math is going to work out. And if it doesn't work out, then you lose the budget reconciliation, and the whole thing may or may not be able to pass. And you're going to be seeing a lot of people objecting to this. The high tax states, they're going to be complaining, and you're also going to see, we've already seen this from real estate sector firms, and they're objecting to the mortgage deduction. You're going to just see it from one place after another. Anybody who has their ox being gored is going to fight this. This is not going to be an easy fight.
Yeah, I read somewhere that if you own a home, you may not be inclined to sell your home without that tax deduction, and this could really hurt the construction real estate business. I don't know, it's one opinion.
I've heard that we could see some significant price declines in real estate if this goes through. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But there are a lot of people who aren't going to be happy with this, plain and simple.
Right. A lot of commentators, a lot of different opinions about what's happened. It seems like the Republican proposal, it was a bit of a mishmash, not a really big solution. It seems like, they really didn't do the job that we really were anticipating as voters. It seems like it's just too convoluted. But that just...
Well, after 8 years, you would have thought that they would have put something together a little bit more comprehensive than this. Part of it is that this relies upon growth really jumping from current levels. And on Friday, we saw the jobs report for the month of October, and it was a good jobs report. 261,000 new jobs in October. The unemployment rate fell to 4.1%. Now, a lot of that was a bounce back, though, from the September number, which was initially reported as a loss of 33,000 jobs. They revised that to 18,000 gained jobs in September. But the point is, we're still seeing good, solid job growth, but it appears that we are on the back end of the cycle. We're not seeing, over the past 12 months, we haven't seen as much job growth as we saw 12 months prior and 12 months prior. We've been slipping down from 2015 to 2016 to 2017, fewer and fewer jobs. Still good jobs growth, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough to grow the economy at the 3 or 4% that the tax plan calls for to make the numbers work. And I don't see how you're going to get it to bounce up in a real quick manner just from tax cuts. I find that rather incredulous.
What about the corporate rate coming down and the potential repatriation of foreign funds? That's not really being discussed that much, but that should have an impact.
Hey, it should have an impact, yeah. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, there are parts of the tax plan that are interesting and may be good. Here's the problem with the repatriation, though, is that they included some territorial taxes in there as well that may actually drive some jobs overseas. And the money that comes back, there's no provision that says they've got to put it into jobs or R&D or plants and structures. Congratulations to the CEOs. They're going to get a big bonus, and there's going to be share buybacks. That's not going to do the job to lift the economy significantly higher.
Sinclair, we had a very interesting week at the Federal Reserve. There was no rate change, of course. No, we didn't anticipate that. But the big story, of course, is Jerry Powell and his nomination to replace Janet Yellen. The street seems to like it. I don't see the market selling off.
Yeah, Jay Powell has been a Fed governor Since 2012, I believe, he has voted right in line with Janet Yellen. The market seems to like Janet Yellen's performance, and they think that Jay Powell is going to be a continuation of the Yellen era. There's a little concern whether he can be a good wartime advisor, if you will, a wartime general, if something goes wrong. And one thing that the Street probably likes is he's a little bit less inclined to regulation than Yellen, but really not much difference. Look at it as mainly a continuation. But I got to tell you, the nomination of Powell, the tax plan, pretty much everything just kind of fell flat on Wall Street this week. I think most all of this has already been priced in, and that's a little bit concerning moving forward.
So there were some alternate names besides Powell that were mentioned, right? And now they're out the window.
Yeah, they're out the window. There was talk at one point of Gary Cohn. There was talk of John Taylor. You got to consider that Janet Yellen was under consideration, even though, Trump didn't want her. But she didn't do anything wrong, and under normal circumstances, she would have been the most probable pick to continue into a second term. I got to say, she's done a pretty good job. I don't really have a big complaint against her, and I'm not, as you know, I'm not a big fan of the Federal Reserve. So,
no kidding.
For me to say that's about as high a praise as I'm going to come up with for the Fed.
I know she was providing stability at the very least. We have about 60 seconds, Sinclair. Anything new in banks behaving badly this week?
There was a little bit to do with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo fired a few Forex traders, and normally that wouldn't make much news, but they issued a report saying this had absolutely nothing to do with collusion or front-running or anything else. And
Sinclair, we just ran out of time.
It had to do with front-running.
Thank you, Sinclair. Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the great blog EatTheBankers.com. And as we do each week, we close our show, as Ed Hart used to say on the old Financial News Network, we will know in the fullness of time.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Elf, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to WallStreetRawRadio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest price filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.